If you don't know what happened today, there was a massive Twitch leak. It's so dumb. Why do people care? Because it's inherent. So here's the thing. It is inherently interesting to know how much someone is making. Like if you asked it's not a normal thing, but if you could learn how much X doctor makes, you would. I think that's a very normal thing. I think it's very interesting for people. Does it make you judge people differently? Maybe some people. Doesn't me. I personally find it interesting to know how much these streamers are making, but I already knew they were loaded. I already knew that, because like it's hard not to when they literally look. A lot of streamers had their sub counts on stream. You could just see. Rambu's got 56,000 subs or something. Like you could just multiply that by 250 and you already know he's making at least $1 million a year from Twitch, which is crazy. That's crazy, right? But it's not that crazy when you start thinking about it in terms of people freaking out about it on the internet. I don't know. I don't think it changes anything. I think that's what's interesting about it. I think it's weird when people start freaking out about something that is not new. I think everyone already knew that streamers were loaded, so I don't see the freak out. But I will say, what I've been seeing more than freak out is other streamers and creators tweeting about the freak out. I haven't seen as much noise about the stuff as I have from the streamers, which I think is really funny, actually. That being said, I did also tweet about it. I said something along the lines of, guys, you could just multiply 2.5 by their sub count. It's not hard. And you kind of know, oh wow, that's a lot of money. But then I also went ahead and said, but here's all these other things, so you don't have any idea how much these people are actually making. But yeah, I don't actually know where I am on the list. I don't know what number I am. I don't even know where to look. I hope very high. You know, I hope I'm making lots of money. Carson's loaded. I have so much money. I think it's also funny how a lot of, like, this is what I'm doing, but the way a lot of creators are handling this is by going, I do have billions of dollars, just kind of like shaking it off, being like, yeah. No, here's a little bit of a joke about it. But they do have lots of money. I just saw you were paid $34.9 million in 2019. It's true. What can I say? Let's have a look at live stream fail. Twitch.tv got leaked. Like the entire website. Source code with comments for the blah blah blah. Soda on the Twitch leak. The XQC after his revenue got leaked. Number 20. Okay, this one actually made me mad. This one actually upset me. And it's not what Saikuno says that upsets me. I'll hear it.
Not that long ago, right? It was like some months ago, less than a year ago, right? I probably shouldn't say this, but I make about 10% from YouTube alone. I make about 10% as much as I did from the Among Us days. And I know people think streamers make a lot of money, but it's only been a few months and I make 10 times less money than before. And that's why I don't think I'm poor, but it's super unstable how much you make. So that's why I feel like streaming, it's difficult, right? Because I made 10 times as much back then. So I don't think I'm like poor, right? I don't think I'm poor at all, but it's just how it is when you stream. You rely on content creation. So that's why I think streamers aren't poor, but you don't know how long it's going to last, right? It's only been a few months and I'm making like nearly 10 times less. So, and I'm not complaining at all, but I think that's probably all I should really say on the matter. That's why, like, I'm not spending a lot of money because it's just unreliable being a streamer. You know, a few months is not that.
Okay. So sounds like he is complaining. So here's the thing. This made a lot of people on LSF upset. A lot of people were like, oh man, streamers live in such a bubble. Imagine being unsure if you're going to make 20K or 200K this month. So tragic. I saw this and I was like, okay. So first of all, I think Saikuno First of all, this is an out of context clip. I'm sure someone asked him about it, and then he was responding. I'm sure he wasn't just randomly talking about it, right? But I was looking at this. I'm like, okay. First of all, what he's talking about is, oh, this was deleted by the person who originally posted it. That's funny. What he was talking about was the predictability, like how much you can actually predict about how much you're gonna make on this as a job from month to month, and that is 100% a true thing. That is 100% something that streamers do have to plan around and deal with. I think what he did wrong was talking about the fact that I think he made it sound a little bit worse than it is when he was talking, which comes across as dishonest. And that's why people are upset with him. In reality, 10 times less than he was making when he was doing Among Us is still crazy amounts of money. And he's very much okay. I don't think he hammered that in enough. And I think it ended up in people clipping it and putting on LSF because, of course, it's a drama subreddit. I think Sykkuno is probably making more than enough, but I think also people need to remember something that's kind of important is content creators like streamers and YouTubers and all that are making a good chunk of money, but we're also self-employed, and self-employment taxes are really high. You're probably going to lose about 55% of what you're making just off of the taxes, and that's not even counting. Sykkuno lives in LA, I'm pretty certain, and in LA, in California, you have even more taxes. You have crazy state taxes. So yes, he's still making lots of money, but it's not the astronomical numbers that people are saying. I think this is very interesting. I think you have to remember that half of this is getting taken away, but then you can probably also add a bunch back in. And this is kind of what I was talking about on on Twitter. That's not counting merch deals. That's not counting bounties. That's not talking ads. That's not talking bits, donos, all this other stuff. YouTube ad revenue itself is insane. YouTube ad revenue makes up so much money too. Like, I think people have a skewed opinion of YouTube because of all that stuff with demonetization back in the day. But you can make so much money on YouTube, especially if you're pumping out 20-30 minute content with multiple mid-rolls like I do. You can make so much money like that, and I do think people need to remember that when factoring all this in. So what you probably want to do is cut something like this in half and then add up another like 25%. If I remember in Mizkif's chat, they said this is across 2 years. That might also be true. This is August 2019 to October 2021. So that's realistic. I want to see the 2021 numbers because there were I don't know where to find it, but there's like September 2021 numbers as well. Oh yeah, CDogVA tweeted this. I feel like calling what Twitch just experienced as a leak is similar to me shitting myself in public and trying to call it a minor inconvenience. It really doesn't do the situation justice, which is true. And I responded, where am I? 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 But the shit is also like post Taco Bell, and oh man, is it leaking everywhere. And everyone is talking about it. So many people are talking about it, which was a really funny reply, right? That's really funny. And then I clarified and said this didn't happen to me, which it didn't. It didn't happen to me. It didn't. All the way down. Okay. It's just like the Twitch earnings. All the way down. And then he responded, I know this shouldn't make me want some, but I really want Taco Bell now, which that's funny. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny to me. That's a funny thing. Alinity's take on the Twitch leak. Twitch is throwing harder than I threw my cat. Does this mean I can upload the clip of me saying, why'd you throw the cat? Can I do that on Call Me Carson Plus now? Is that allowed? But yeah, if you look up me, Call Me Carson Live, $406,819. Oh my gosh. It's all in stocks. Mr. 365. Wait, where do you see that? Oh shit. Oh. Top 500. Whoa! My streamer made it. That's from 2019. Yeah, that makes sense. In 2019, I was making a lot of money. That's August 2019. So that's like peak of S&P Live going into 2020, where I think I actually made more money 2020 than now. Not now, than 2019. Second 1.9 mil. Yeah, that doesn't look good, man. He was mainly talking about the unpredictability, which is a real thing. It's very hard to know month to month how much you're going to make. If you 1 month are popping off from a Amogus, then you're gonna feel like this new high, but then the next month Amogus is dead. Rest in peace, Amogus, and you're like, shit, sheesh, where'd that money go? But you're still making good money. It's that hedonic treadmill. You guys ever heard of the hedonic treadmill? You've talked about it before, but refresh us. The hedonic treadmill. Look at this. The hedonic treadmill is a metaphor for human tendency to pursue one pleasure after another. That's because the surge of happiness felt after a positive event is likely to return to a steady personal baseline over time. Basically, what happens is you get to a certain level of growth on Twitch or YouTube, and you're like, damn, sheesh, this is good. And then that's what you want as your new normal, because now that you've hit that high, you got to keep searching for that again. But that's impossible. There's no way you're ever going to be able to constantly keep up that new high. And so the baseline you return to is slightly higher than it was before. Sponsors are never mentioned, right? Like Mizkif would earn a shit ton from sponsors. He would, except I don't know how many sponsors Miz actually does, because I remember listening to The Yard or something like that, and Miz did something where he was doing Fireball Friday without even following the shit for it. Like, he didn't get paid. He just kept doing Fireball Friday. Like, he didn't get paid by Fireball. So I don't know how many sponsors he actually does. OTK makes a shit ton though, because they just got sponsored by Chipotle. They're officially partners with them and all that stuff. Chipotle sucks dick. I've had Chipotle a few times. I don't hate it. I don't love it, you know? That's how I feel about Chipotle.